Welcome to Next Level Greatness, the podcast. Around here, we'll be talking about all things expansion, going from good to great and from great to greatness. I'm your host, Barbie Collab. Get ready for your next level. Let's do this.
Less is more. That has been the theme of my entire week. I'm taking this course with Andrea Crowder called The Pleasure Model. An episode is released each week. I was anxiously anticipating the episode. And by surprise, an episode was released 3 days early. It was announced. I was so excited because I'm really enjoying this program, which is a program on your relationship to your work and to your life from the lens of pleasure and joy. So doing your work because you love it, doing everything in your life because you want to, because you get to. And it's not a how-to course, how to anything, but it sort of is, because when you know that you want to do things from the lens of pleasure, that does in some ways instruct you on how to do things. So it's not quite a strategy, but it sort of is. I opened up the episode and I saw that it was 7 minutes and 22 seconds. And I reacted. I said, that's it? I waited a whole week almost for 7 minutes and 22 seconds. And I joked with her and I told her, I was like, I said I was cheated. I feel cheated. And I listened to the 7 minutes that were so powerful, so potent, so worth the cost of the program, which was $1,700. That was such an eye-opener for me on my relationship to time and money, but also my relationship to value and money. This is an example of less is more. Ironically, and I say ironically because or just not, really not ironically, really a question of divine timing. So Andrea teaches the pleasure model from the framework of rapid resolution therapy. And I had made an appointment with one of the doctors, one of the psychologists, therapists that teaches rapid resolution therapy, because I'm sometimes, or I have tended to be challenged with my voice, overusing my voice, or straining my voice and not knowing how to use it effectively so that by the end of a conversation or by the end of, one or two meetings, I find myself hoarse. And so that's something that that I get to address. And I'm actually really excited because I do think that a speech pathologist or speech therapist is going to be able to help me with the actual throat issue. But one of the things that Dr. Wayne Johnson, I think that's his name, the RRT specialist, said, he was asking me questions, just like Dr. Connolly, like, okay, well, what is the issue that you want to work on? And I was telling him, I'm like, I get so excited Like literally, I get so excited that sometimes I fatigue not only my voice, but I fatigue myself in the process. And so, again, he was trying to understand what the problem was. He said, your power, your energy is your capital. And I got it. He said, I don't see your passion, that's what he meant by energy, as a problem. Your energy is your capital. That's what makes you a powerhouse. That really landed for me. And that's when he said, less is more. He said, you don't have to amp it up, give 100% with my passion and my voice all the time to the degree that every activity, every person, every event gets me amplified, like receives me being amplified. Less is more. Sometimes more is less. Wow. And so that made me think how whenever I teach, I want to make sure that, of course, I'm a passionate person. I want to make sure that my clients receive everything. But sometimes less is more. Going slower sometimes, many times, allows the person on the other end to fully absorb the message. Sometimes more is less. How many times have you felt overloaded, overwhelmed with information? Also divinely timed, I happened upon a woman on the internet, a business executive who coaches burnt out women. So in highly, extremely driven and successful women in the corporate world who are always saying yes. Yes to all the projects. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I want to be a hero. Yes, I'll work extra. That's not me. I really have graduated from that, and there's no judgment. But I've really learned to say no a lot more and to take care of myself. However, as you can see, I'm still on the continuum, learning as I did this week that less is more. But this woman said, this executive said, you are paid for the value you provide and not the number of hours that you work. I was like, oh my goodness, the universe is always working in our favor and to guide us and to protect us if we're looking for that. The 7-minute and 22-second episode was such a gift and such an eye-opener to remind me that short sometimes equals potent. Then the RRT session, less is more. And then this woman, the CEO on the internet that I've never heard of before, saying that we are paid for the value we provide and not the number of hours that we work. With that, I would love to invite you to reflect on this week on where in your life can less be more? Where in your life can you, in fact, do less and be more potent? Where in your life is more actually less? These little questions are not so little, but they're life-changing. I hope you've enjoyed this slower, shorter, and maybe more potent episode. Yes, there's a time for me being passionate, and there's a time for me saying everything I want to say. And there's a time when less is more. I hope you have an amazing day. If you loved this episode and if you're loving my podcast, I would love for you to leave a review. They really do make a difference in spreading the word and having more people be impacted. Also, I'd love for you to join me in my Facebook community called The Magnetic Portal. You can find the link in the show notes. I'll see you next time.